Good morning, Moos. I'm Taliyah Johnson.
And I'm Isabella Perez. And welcome to Live at 8:05.
Here are this week's news stories. We have some belated birthday wishes this morning. Shout out to the following staff members that had birthdays during the first 3 weeks of November.
Miss Rodriguez, Miss Sanders, Miss Hada, Miss Jazzy, Mr. Moore, Miss Yarno, and Miss Amano.
Celebrating a birthday today are Penelope from 005 and Noah from 213.
Tomorrow is Roberto from 113, Sunday is Mason from 214, and next Monday is John Carlos from 103 and Bianca from 102.
Since we are on vacation next week, we want to wish happy birthday to Emerald and Lilani and Miss Quesada on the 26th.
And on the 27th, Kalia and Ayanel. Next Friday is Sael and Coach V.
On November 30th, we have 3 birthdays, Atticus, Kenson, and Dana.
December 1st is River. December 2nd is Luca and Michelle.
And December 5th is Jeremy. Happy birthday, Musketeers! Next, we would like to recognize the rooms with the best attendance for the week.
Good attendance is so important for being the best student you can be. And we salute the top 3 rooms.
In third place, Advisory 102 with Miss Afonte.
In second place, homeroom 116 with Miss Valencia.
And in first place, with 99% attendance, is homeroom 212 with Miss Villanueva.
Congratulations, Musketeers! Today we have another staff spotlight interview for you, where we get to know the people who work at Moos just a little better.
Our colleague Tristan interviewed a staff member that most of us know. Let's take a look.
Live at 8:05 would like to welcome our counselor, Ms. Conway, to our staff spotlight this morning. Thank you for joining me this morning.
Thanks for having me.
Did you always want to be a school counselor?
Actually, no. So I did not really know what I wanted to be when I was growing up. After college, I worked for about 5 years in a different career and then decided to go back to school. I knew that I wanted to work with kids, but I was really still deciding between being a counselor or a librarian. But when I thought about it, I really wanted to be a helper, and I think I made the right choice. I love my job.
Ms. Conway, what do you like to do in your free time?
Let's see, I love spending time with my niece and nephew, so I'm with my family a lot. I love to read. I like going to concerts. I stay pretty busy.
What is your favorite part of the job?
The favorite part of my job is that I get to work with students over many years. So for teachers, they get to see you for 1 year, maybe 2. I get to know students starting in pre-K and then sometimes all the way up till 8th grade. So it's really fun for me to see you all grow and learn over the years, and it's a really special part of my job.
Okay. What is your main focus as a counselor?
So as a counselor, there's maybe 3 main parts of my job in supporting students in being successful. The first part is academic, so if students are struggling in a class or need help with like study skills or organization, I can help with that. The second part is social emotional, so that might be if students are struggling with some tough feelings or maybe having problems with friends. And then the third part is post-secondary success, which is really just a fancy way of saying we want to help you prepare for your future, whether that's high school, college, or career. So a big part of my job is listening and helping to solve problems in those 3 areas.
What do you feel are the biggest challenges facing today's education system?
I think there are a lot of people making decisions for schools who either don't have a background in education or have not been in a school building for a long time, and so they forget what it's like. My hope is that leaders will listen to teachers and students about what our needs are so that they can respond to them.
What is your favorite Moos memory?
Okay, that's a tough question. I have a lot of good memories here at Moos. I think one that sticks out to me is my very first day here. I was really nervous starting a new job where I didn't know anyone, and I remember sitting down at a table of teachers who were friendly and welcoming, and they ended up becoming some of my best friends. So for me, Moos is really like a second family, so that memory is really special.
Ms. Conway, I want to thank you for joining me today for our Live at 8:05 Staff Spotlight.
Thanks so much for having me. I love what you all are doing.
The students appreciate everything you do for us here at Moos. And now back to Taliyah and Isabella in the studio.
Thank you, Tristan and Ms. Conway, for that staff spotlight.
Now let's get back to our live show. Students in grade 1 through 8 received their progress reports today.
Remember, progress reports are not permanent. You still have time to improve your grade if you have set a high goal for yourself.
Today is part 1 of our series, How to Get Better Grades.
As you will hear from our expert, Jill Cimarelli, you don't have to be a genius to get good grades. You just have to work hard.
But number 1 is to remember that grades are reflective of your work ethic, not your intelligence. You don't have to be some genius to get really good grades in school. It's all about working hard and working hard in the right places, which we're going to get into a little later. So if you're worried about getting bad grades or worried about being stupid, seriously don't feel that way. You're definitely not stupid. You're just not working hard enough. And I swear if you put in the work ethic, the grades will follow.
So what are some things you can do to work harder if you haven't reached your academic goal?
Number 1, turn your work in on time. It's important to get everything turned in on time because missing assignments really bring your grade down. And this means making sure that if you are absent, you ask the teacher what assignments you missed and complete the work as soon as possible.
Number 2, have graded sentence. We all know that you can't learn from your teachers if you're not here in the building. Make getting here every day on time a priority and you will see improvement.
Number 3, ask questions when you don't understand. Some kids are very shy to ask, but teachers love questions. And also, if you don't understand something, there are probably others in your class that don't. Part of working hard is to speak up when you need to. As we wrap up American Indian Heritage Month, we would like to show you a video that talks about Native Americans that still live here in Chicago.
You'll get to meet Chicago historian Dilla and the city's very first Native commissioner, Matt Baudet. Let's check it out.
It's your favorite neighborhood historian Dilla reporting live from Chicago, the greatest city on earth. Chicago is a city of neighborhoods, and neighborhoods, they're made of people. Let's study some of those people. The very first demographic in Chicago's history is that of the Native Americans. They were here long before Chicago was even a thought. In fact, the word Chicago is an Algonquin word meaning smelly leaks. Studying Chicago's history is not always good. Places like this park and Rogers Road, which was formerly Indian Boundary Road, were physical barriers that Native Americans were unable to cross after the Treaty of 1816. When it comes to studying the history of Native Americans in Chicago, they kind of get the short end of the stick. We think of names like Marquette and Joliet when really it was the Native American guides that showed them the way. We had a chance to speak to the first ever Indigenous and American commissioner in Chicago's history, Matt Baudet, to tell us a little more about their culture.
Akwe, Nitompak, Wigan, Keys, Matt, Sipush, Nis, Natisawis. Hello, good day. Matt Twin Rivers Baudet is my name. Montaukett is my tribe, and I'm the building commissioner for the city of Chicago.
Often considered the hidden minority, Native Americans have a strong impact on the city with a population of up to 35,000.
Unfortunately, being the invisible minority, it's thought that once the natives were removed from here, then any trace of them was removed. We never really left, even after 1830, to be forced on the other side of the Mississippi, because we knew what it was. We knew it was our home. We knew the value of the city and the trade routes. It's always been a very important hub, and that's why it was a very strong native village for centuries before we had contact with the non-Indigenous people. We have a very vibrant community here. We have the American Indian Center. We have a number of organizations that are working coordination, not only in Chicago, but in Illinois. So if you want to learn about a native, ask a native.
The next time you're in Chicago, make sure you check out the American Indian Center to learn more about the indigenous Native American population here in the greatest city on earth, Chicago.
Reminder that today we have our November Moose Squad. Congratulations to all the Musketeers that earned their spot.
Later today at lunch, we have the Moose Community Feast. Be a risk taker and try some foods you've never tasted before.
Next week, there are no classes due to the Thanksgiving vacation. We hope you all have a good meal with your family.
Well, thank you for joining us on Live at 8:05. We're your hosts, Taliyah Johnson
And Isabella Perez. We will see you in 2 weeks right here. And remember,
You make the Moos amazing.